food preservation is one of humanity's most essential needs. From ancient times when people dried meat in the sun to today's refrigerators running on electricity, we have always searched for ways to keep food safe, fresh, and edible for longer. But what if we could build a storage cabinet that requires no electricity at all, powered instead by permanent magnets? This is the bold concept behind the self-powered food storage cabinet. It is an idea that blends magnetic fields, airflow control, and free energy experimentation into a practical solution that could transform kitchens and off-grid living alike. Why food storage matters. Every household depends on food storage. In modern times, refrigerators and freezers dominate, consuming large amounts of electricity every day. In fact, in most homes, refrigeration is one of the top energy demands. For off-grid families, rural communities, or experimental free energy enthusiasts, this creates a problem. How can food be kept safe without a continuous power supply? The answer may lie in combining magnetic energy with natural thermodynamic principles. If magnets can be arranged to create motion, airflow, or even localized cooling, then a self-powered storage cabinet becomes more than just imagination. It becomes a project worth testing and refining. Understanding permanent magnets as an energy source. Magnets contain potential energy stored in their fields. While they do not generate electricity on their own, their fields can be arranged to perform mechanical work. By using attraction and repulsion cycles, permanent magnets can drive rotors, fans, or pistons. In a food cabinet, such motion could power small fans to circulate air, pumps to move cooling fluids, or mechanisms to regulate ventilation. The challenge is to design a cycle where the magnets continue to produce useful work without external input. Overunity experimenters have long studied magnetic motors that seem to spin endlessly once started. Whether or not these reach true overunity, the principle is valuable magnets can drive motion with little or no ongoing energy cost. Cooling without electricity. Before diving into cabinet design, it is important to explore how cooling can occur without traditional refrigeration. There are several possibilities. Airflow cooling. By circulating air from shaded or underground sources, food can be kept cooler than room temperature. Magnets can drive fans that maintain this circulation. Evaporative cooling. Moisture evaporates and absorbs heat, lowering temperature. A magnet-driven pump could move water across cooling paths. Magnetocaloric effect. Certain materials heat and cool as they move through magnetic fields. With careful design, this effect could be harnessed for food storage. Passive insulation. While not active cooling, strong insulation combined with airflow keeps food fresh longer by reducing temperature swings. By combining one or more of these methods, a cabinet can operate effectively without grid power. The cabinet structure. The cabinet itself must be well insulated, durable, and food safe. Materials such as wood lined with reflective foil, thick foam panels, or even repurposed old refrigerators can be used. Inside, shelves hold food items while channels guide airflow. A central compartment houses the magnetic drive system. Doors should seal tightly with rubber or silicone gaskets to prevent warm air from leaking inside. Transparent sections can be added for visibility, but too much glass increases heat absorption. The balance between access, insulation, and design is critical. The magnetic drive system. At the heart of the cabinet is the magnetic system. Imagine a rotor with fins attached. Around it, permanent magnets are arranged to repel and attract in sequence. Once set into motion, the rotor spins continuously, driving a fan that circulates air throughout the cabinet. In a more advanced design, the rotor also powers a small piston pump. This pump could move water across evaporative pads, adding a cooling effect. The rotor's speed could be regulated with adjustable magnetic dampers, ensuring the system does not overheat or stall. The entire mechanism requires no wires, no plugs, and no batteries. Only the magnetic arrangement and careful construction. Airflow and circulation. Airflow is the secret to natural cooling. By pulling cooler air from lower in the room or from shaded outdoor areas and expelling warmer air, the cabinet maintains a stable internal climate. The spinning fan, powered by magnets, ensures that no pocket of air becomes stagnant. This reduces food spoilage by controlling moisture, preventing mold growth, and slowing bacterial activity. For areas with hot climates, airflow can be combined with evaporative cooling. Moist pads or clay jars near the air intake absorb heat as water evaporates, further reducing cabinet temperature. This method has been used for centuries in desert regions and can be adapted into modern designs with magnetic pumps. The magnetocaloric effect possibility. An exciting possibility is to use the magnetocaloric effect directly. Some alloys heat up when exposed to magnetic fields and cool down when removed. By cycling a material in and out of magnetic zones, cooling can be generated without compressors or refrigerants. In theory, a permanent magnet rotor could move strips of such material through alternating field zones, absorbing heat from the cabinet and releasing it outside. While still experimental, this approach represents the cutting edge of magnetic refrigeration and could redefine food storage in a self-powered way. Safety and practical considerations. While permanent magnets are powerful, they must be handled safely. Strong neodymium magnets can snap together suddenly, risking injury. In a cabinet, magnets should be securely mounted to prevent movement. All moving parts should be shielded to protect fingers and food. Moisture management is another concern. If evaporative cooling is used, water reservoirs must be sealed against contamination. The cabinet interior should remain dry to prevent food from spoiling faster. Proper drainage and airflow paths reduce these risks. Maintenance should also be simple. A cabinet that requires constant adjustment is not practical. The design should allow easy cleaning, access to fans or pumps, and inspection of magnetic assemblies. Testing and experimentation. Building such a cabinet requires careful testing. Experimenters should begin small, perhaps with a tabletop unit that holds a few bottles of water. By measuring internal temperature, airflow speed, and food freshness over several days, the effectiveness of the design can be judged. Each trial teaches something. Perhaps airflow is too weak and magnets must be repositioned. Perhaps insulation is insufficient, requiring thicker walls. Perhaps evaporative cooling works better than expected, demanding larger water pads. Through patient refinement, a practical system emerges. Measurements should include ambient room temperature, cabinet interior temperature, humidity levels, and the condition of stored food. Only by gathering data can builders prove the concept and improve it. Applications beyond the home. A self-powered food cabinet is not just for households. It could transform life in remote villages where electricity is unreliable. It could provide emergency food storage during disasters when power is cut off. It could serve campers, explorers, or off-grid communities who want independence from fuels and batteries. Even in modern cities, such a cabinet reduces energy bills and carbon emissions. Every home that replaces one electric refrigerator with a magnet-powered cabinet takes a step towards sustainability. Challenges to address. Of course, challenges remain. Permanent magnets eventually weaken, though slowly. Rotor systems must overcome friction to maintain motion. Cooling efficiency may be limited compared to modern refrigeration. For some foods, such as meat or dairy, strict temperature control is essential, making a hybrid system necessary. Experimenters must therefore be realistic. A magnet-powered cabinet may not yet replace all refrigeration needs, but it can supplement them, extending the freshness of fruits, vegetables, and grains without electricity. Even partial success has value in reducing energy dependence. The future of magnet-powered storage. Looking ahead, combining permanent magnets with new materials and advanced engineering could create cabinets that rival or surpass electric refrigerators. Research into magnetocaloric alloys is already underway globally. Free energy experimenters add a unique perspective, focusing not only on scientific theory but on practical DIY innovation. One day kitchens may feature sleek cabinets that keep food cool indefinitely, powered by nothing more than magnets arranged in clever configurations. That future begins with small experiments today, in garages, workshops, and homes of curious innovators. Yes, challenges exist. Cooling may be limited, construction requires care, and efficiency must be proven. But every experiment, every prototype, and every improvement brings us closer to practical solutions. The journey is as valuable as the destination. Imagine a world where your food stays safe and fresh, not because of expensive appliances tied to the grid, but because of forces that exist all around us, waiting to be harnessed. permanent magnets, silent and tireless, can become the guardians of your kitchen, the engines of a sustainable lifestyle, and the proof that free energy is not just theory but practice. That is the promise of the self-powered food storage cabinet, and it is a promise worth building toward.